All right.
Happy Easter.
Yeah, happy Easter. Welcome back to Travels with Tommy and Lori.
The Quarantine Chronicles.
We're not traveling.
No.
So we feel like we have to do something for y'all
Yeah.
with our 32 subscribers.
38.
38 subscribers. Don't want to leave nobody out. So we're going to do a little cooking again. And we're going to start off by making homemade southern cornbread, which we're going to turn into dressing.
Yep.
We're going to do some pork chops, dressing, and a broccoli casserole.
Yep.
So that's going to be our dinner for tonight. So
the cornbread casserole was Tommy's Aunt Marlene's recipe, and so was the broccoli casserole. So we were talking about her a couple days ago, and she passed away, and we miss her, and so we're gonna do that. Y'all, this is a 3 o'clock nap today, right here. That's what this is.
old.
Oh, tired.
So I'm going to get my stuff together. I'll be doing the cooking, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be making the cornbread and pretty much everything else. So
Yep.
we'll get started.
See you in a few.
To start this off, I'd like to start off by saying the cornbread recipe that I'm doing is not my Aunt Marlene's recipe. This is just a cornbread that I make. The only thing that we have going on here at my Aunt Marlene, we have our beer sitting here. We're ready to go.
God
I
bless
don't
her.
have her hands to make all this stuff. But growing up in the South like I did, my mama, all my aunts, everybody cooked. So we would get together for Easter or Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever. Everybody would, bring what they made the best. And some of it was stuffing, which we're doing today. Some of it was sweets, homemade banana pudding, can't go wrong. Just everybody did a little bit different than the next person, and theirs were the favorite. So when they got asked to bring something, they already knew what they were going to be bringing. So there wasn't a whole lot of, well, I'm going to make cornbread. Well, no, you're not going to make cornbread. You don't know how to make cornbread, so they just knew who was going to make cornbread, who was going to make stuffing, who was going to make everything else. So just with that getting started, just cornmeal. Cornbread, cornmeal. I do 2 cups. I like the yellow cornmeal. This is white cornmeal. Tastes the same to me.
Well, your cousin said when I got the recipe, she said it had to be white cornmeal. So.
Well, I use this.
So 1 cup or 2 cups of cornmeal?
2 cups cornmeal. This is going to be your dry ingredients. Baking soda. You want 1 teaspoon. That's how easy that was. One teaspoon of salt. Any salt, but we have pink Himalayan. Sugar.
That is your favorite brand of anything.
1 tablespoon. You don't have to put sugar in it. I do. It don't make it sweet. Just mix that all around. Next thing is you need some melted butter, which is this is what makes it southern. You might as well just put this whole thing in there, but it's 6 tablespoons. So for y'all that don't know, this is not 6, this is. So then take your 6 tablespoons of butter, put that in there. Take your 6 tablespoons of butter. I put mine on at 45 seconds. Check it at 45 seconds. I don't want it to start blowing up everywhere.
But also, we have a really old unit. I mean, it's old, so it takes a little bit longer than it would in a newer one.
So in your cast iron, this is just baking grease. Put it on the stove top and just start heating it up a little bit. There's a reason. I'll show you.
All right, we'll be back. Okay.
So you take that bacon grease and smear it all around your cast iron. You know, like I said, you could ask 10 people how they make cornbread, you're going to get 10 different answers. So me with the bacon grease here, and if you got to ask where you get bacon grease, I know you're not from the South. Bacon grease you keep just for stuff like this. You can add it to your beans. You can cook with it and get it nice and smeared around. Smeared. Where you completely got it covered. So you turn your oven on, bake at 400. Go ahead and put this pan in here. Hit start. That pan's gonna heat up as it's preheating. And once the oven's preheated, you pour your mixture into the pan. That's where you get the nice char on the bottom, which becomes the top of your cornbread when you flip it over.
Well, let me stop you.
Yep.
Turn around here and look at me.
Hang on, I'm still doing butter.
Look at the camera. You're looking past the camera to look at my face.
All right, I'm looking at the camera.
It looks like you're wall-eyed. I'm just saying.
Buttermilk, not milk, buttermilk. 1 1/4 cup. 1 1/4 cup of buttermilk. Bam! Look at there. Woo! In your buttermilk.
If you should drop that, man.
1 large egg.
I dare you to chug it. Chug, 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 chug.
You whisk that around, get that egg broke up.
I will totally play the theme song for Rocky if you chug that.
No. So you got that all mixed up. Your butter is buttered. It's liquefied. So what you want to do is swallow your beer. Making homemade cornbread is easy. So I'm looking at the fucking camera. Making cornbread's easy. Like I said, just your cornmeal and your other ingredients are dry. Put your buttermilk in your egg. Give that a
Swirly doodle.
swirly girl around. So it looks a little dry. That's when you add the butter.
But it makes it better.
You just want to mix that in. Trust me, it will mix in. Smells right, looks right. You gotta wait for this oven to preheat. We'll be right back. The oven's preheated. Get our pan out. Get all that down in there. Kind of spread it around. Put it back in the oven, 400. Start off with 20 minutes. If you have a real good oven, not one that's made in 1985, probably about 20 minutes. Mine probably gonna take about 25, 30 minutes. So when we get it out, we'll see what it looks like. Watch carefully. a good sharp knife, you can't go wrong. So we're just getting prepped right now. Our cornbread's still in the oven. I gotta dice this onion here in a minute. So I'm just sharpening my knife. Nice and sharp. So cornbread's ready. It took longer than the 20 minutes in our 1985 combo microwave oven. But tell me it ain't beautiful.
It is pretty. Look at that. Our cast iron is priceless.
So you gotta let it set out. Probably 30 minutes or so to cool off. If you're gonna eat it tonight for dinner, 30 minutes, let it cool off, cut it up. You can cut cast iron, or you can flip it over on a plate, cut it up. Bottom side up is gonna be nice golden brown from the baking grease. When it went in there, you probably heard it sizzle. One thing I want to tell you is when you're mixing your batter for it, depends on what you're going to use it for. You can go ahead and put whole kernel corn in it. Drain the corn, put it in there, have corn in your cornbread. Jalapenos, whatever you like to put in your cornbread, that's the time you can do it. And it's going to be delicious. So, like I said, we're making dressing. So, we're going to get back with you here in just a minute. You see I've got everything set up, starting to make the dressing. We're going to use this little casserole pan.
Since it's just us.
That we got in the estate sale.
My vintage Corningware and Pyrex.
So we're gonna get back with you here in just a minute and make the dressing. So the first thing we're gonna do for our stuffing, since it's just me and Lori, we're only gonna use this little pan. If you're gonna
look here, don't look here.
If you're gonna use a big casserole dish, you probably gonna use this whole onion. But we're not going to use this whole onion. And you just want to pretty much just dice this up. Yeah, I trained with Gordon Ramsay.
Shit.
Before he was Gordon Ramsay. Well, he's still Gordon Ramsay.
Clean up your station, you stupid donkey.
He was still Gordon Ramsay. I was just better than he was. So.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back after this bullshit's over.
And remember, there's no crying in cooking. So if you're chopping your onion up and you start to cry, maybe you ought not to be cooking. So like I said, we're not going to use the whole thing of cornbread. Look how pretty that is. So what we do is we just take and crumble this up. Nice, fine little crumbles. And I know it sounds like a lot of work to go through to make dressing, but it's worth it. So that's all you do is get your cornbread crumbled up.
All right, we'll be back after he crumbles all that up. Okay.
So you get your cornbread crumbled up. Like I said, it don't have to be little fine pieces or anything, but and you put your onion in it. There is no recipe. This is all by eye. You know, the half of onion is a good start. You know, that's probably going to be enough of onion for anybody. You might make a little bit of a mess here.
Maybe it'd been easier to do that in the bowl.
Really?
Yeah. Hashtag just saying.
It's all right. Get it all mixed up.
Yeah, but you're going to have to mix it again when you go to add your spices, yo.
So,
Tell them exactly what your cousin said.
eyeball it. So we're going to put some sage in it.
Watch that it don't have a guard.
Pepper.
About how much you reckon that was?
About 2 tablespoons. Salt. Mix. So there is no real recipe that my family has. It's just what looks good and what tastes good.
His cousin literally said, put the sage in, mix it, put more sage in, mix it, put some more sage in.
Sage is what's going to make the flavors pop. I'm going to say that's enough.
I was going to say that looks plenty. Step back here and get my drink.
That's why you always video. And when you sit over there and drink.
Don't hate.
All right, so I'm going to start with about 1 2/3 chicken broth. And we want to turn this into a soup. All right, so we got our oven preheated. I'm going to take this. You want it where it's soupy. See, it's soupy. That way, when your dressing's done, it's not dry. You know, it's gonna stay moist, but it's gonna compress and form itself into a loaf. You could actually cut it, but it's still gonna be nice and moist. So preheat your oven 400 degrees. 1 hour. When that's done, you got some dressing. Next thing we're going to do is our broccoli casserole.
We had to end the video here and pick up in a part 2. For whatever reason, we were having severe internet issues and couldn't get anything to export, so I had to keep chopping. I don't know why. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, thanks for coming with us, and we hope that you'll join us for part 2 to see the broccoli casserole and the pork chops. Once again, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified of future videos.